Hello, everyone. And as always, thank you for coming on and watching uh, the videos I've been making. I did a video saying, that I had pretty much lost my family. And if you've been following what's going on, you would know pretty much the story, and I wouldn't have to go into it. But I said I thought I was going to spend Christmas all alone. And my kids reached out to make peace with all this and put it behind us and move forward. So I did a video saying that, the spirit of Christmas miracle had happened. And I was totally grateful for that. And I did get to go visit with my three boys and see my grandkids and my daughter-in-laws. And we had a very, very great reuniting. It was fabulous. But I already did a video saying that I was so thankful for that working out. But now that I got to visit with all my children and see my grandkids and my daughter-in-laws and everybody, I want to tell you a little bit of something that's going on. And I really need you to listen to the entire thing, because this is something that you'll see by the end of this. You are part of it. I know it's hard to make you understand that right now, but if you do, and I hope you do, take the time to listen to it all, you'll see that this is for everybody. I met with my three boys and their families and my grandkids and everything. And after the last couple of years, after what happened to us, tore us apart, like I said. So I really didn't know exactly what was going on with them and my grandkids and everything. Of course, I would hear little things from other family members and people. But going to see them now, I got to see exactly the devastation that what this company did to us. I got to actually see the full devastation of what they were suffering through, and I was able to understand now why they were so upset with me. And like I said, I tried to bring out something that was going on that was wrong to this company, and in return, they retaliated and destroyed us. But when I went to visit my boys and my grandkids and all, I got to see the real devastation of it, of what this had caused. My three boys, before this all happened, if you go, I had sent another video, look at some of, my older videos to get an idea what kind of people we are. Prior to this incident, let me tell you what my three boys were. My oldest son, Joey, named after me. You know what? I can group all three of them into this one category because it'll just save time on the video. All three of my boys, prior to this, were three kids that any parent would have been proud to have. All three of my boys never had any trouble with the law. Never gave us any hardships. They were great students. I put them through St. Monica's Catholic school and Bishop Newman high school. And you couldn't ask for three better kids to have as children. I mean, they just were full of love. They were like me. They tried to help everybody they could. They just were everything you can ask to be good in a your kids, I mean, like I said, you just couldn't ask for better. I don't think they even ever got a speeding ticket, let alone get in trouble with the law. And pretty much my whole life, whatever growing up, I've had so many. I mean, literally, I know thousands and thousands of people. I've said it before. I've lived 10 lifetimes in one lifetime. It's amazing the amount of things I've been done and did, and it's. But all through my life, I had so many people say to me, your kids are so respectful, such wonderful kids, and I just constantly got compliments on my kids, and I was really well known in Philadelphia, mainly because of my father. Had so many businesses and knew so many people. We were kind of like, I don't want to say big shots, but because we weren't, wealthy people, we were average people as far as that, but the amount of people that knew us, and I'm talking about congressmen, senators, DAs, police commissioners, the list goes on and on and on. My oldest son, I have so many pictures of him with congressmen and other senators, and we attended a lot of political fairs for the city, and my kids went to these things with me, and they got to meet a lot of these, people, and of course, there's tons of pictures of my kids with them, and like I said, everybody just constantly complimented me on my children. And then this tragedy, what this company did, happen, and now I'll tell you what I got to witness after meeting with them. I'll start with my oldest son, Joey. As a father, you couldn't ask for a better kid, like I said. But the trauma of what he went through, losing things, and there was other things that happened. I had found out when I got over there that he had actually had a mental breakdown. He's 40 years old, but with all the trauma and all the things he went through, it sent him backwards to where he's locked between the age of 6 and 16, and he's in such bad shape that they actually put him on Social Security for a mental disability. And with all he suffered and everything, he just couldn't deal with it, so he had a mental breakdown, and he lives in his room. He doesn't come out of his room. Even for Christmas, when I went over to spend time for Christmas dinner and see my grandkids and them, I had to go up in his room and sit and talk to him because he doesn't come out of his room. And the pain and suffering on that kid's face is just so sad, because, like I said, we're talking about a kid that any parent would have been proud to have as a child. And he just couldn't deal with everything that happened with losing everything. And, look, some people are strong, some people just aren't, and he happens to be one of them people that isn't as strong, as he needs to be, and he wound up having a nervous breakdown or whatever, but he's needs some real serious help from professionals, and he's just not getting it. So it was sad to see such a wonderful, wonderful child just living in total hell, as far as I'm concerned. But I tried talking to him, and um, he's suffering. But other than that, we had a great reunion, and you know, now my middle son, his name is Douglas, and going there again, I got to see exactly all the devastation that they suffered through from what this company did. The difference with Douglas is Douglas is just so in love. You know, him and his wife and his kids, he's all about family. And even though they lost a lot and they're struggling hard as can be, they're still very happy. You know, he stays on the positive side of everything. He tries to find positive in the bad things. And he's struggling, and he's working as many jobs as he can, and his wife, to try to, they lost a lot, and they're trying to hold on to some of the things, so, but they were great. I mean, everybody there was just very happy, and so he came through it okay, but he's struggling deeply. My youngest son, Steven, he's probably one of the most funniest kids you ever met in your life. I mean, he just makes everybody laugh. He's so witty and funny, and you say something, he will come back so quick and funny. I mean, he just does. He can take somebody in a bad mood and brighten their day up. But going to see them, I found that he got cancer. And he had somewhat of a mental breakdown also. And he was put in a hospital for a while to try to help him deal with what he was going through. And I guess in a way it was a blessing, because by going there, they're the ones that discovered he had the cancer. And he went through the treatments, and he got, chemo and everything they had to do. And they believe they got it all, and he's in remission. But what I found out when I went there is that after this all happened, and he was no longer with the company, I tried to keep his insurance going as long as I could, which, the business just kept going down, where I couldn't do the insurance no more. And he's got cancer now, and after his treatments and everything, they winded up in a lot of debt. So he decided he'd rather spend the money on his family than worry about himself. So he has no insurance. So for the last few years, he has not went back to have any tests done or anything to make sure it stayed in remission. For all we know, it could be back and he'd be dying. And there's nothing I can do to help him. I can't help him get insurance. I can't do anything for him. So I'm really worried about him, because he's not keeping an eye on this thing. And, I mean, he's 35 years old. He's a young guy. But he's on the positive side, too. And he's trying to make the best out of everything he can. And so after spending time with all three of my boys and their wives and kids, I got to actually see the hard things that they've been through. And I don't know, maybe I'm part rock or something, because with everything I've been through, my faith has been carrying me through it all. And this was the sad part of what I had to see with my children. And there's just not a damn thing I could do about it to help them. So I'm thankful that me and my family are back together and talking and moved past all the stuff that was upsetting them. But I also got to see all the pain and suffering they've been through, and I guess I could say I understand why they blamed me, because like I said, I tried to do what was the right thing and bring something out to this company that wound up pissing them off to the point where they retaliated against us and destroyed everything. Now, if you think that's pretty bad, then I want you to try to take that pain or anger you see in us and you feel for us and double it. I said before, this wasn't my first time something like this happened to me. Back in 2004, I was working in law enforcement. And again, the same thing. I tried to bring out something that was going on wrong, and they retaliated. And just about everything I've told you we've been going through happened back in 2004 to us too. The only difference is, back in 2004, it didn't last a whole long time because the people who were putting me under the meat cleaver, I guess you'd say, wanted me to stop trying to bring out what I was trying to bring out. And if I did, they would stop what they were doing to us. And I agreed and to keep my mouth shut and let it go. Now, I want to tell you something. I know you might think, well, how do we know this is all true? Well, believe it or not, back in 2011, 2012, I made videos about everything that was going on with us because we had somebody very, very high in the government that was doing all this to us, and I had made videos, but I kept them private because I wasn't allowed to talk about what was going on. Otherwise, they would come after us again. So I made videos and I marked them private. That way, they wouldn't be on access to see. But they're there, and the videos would prove exactly what I'm trying to say now. I'm going to do this in a couple of videos because, like I said, but I really need you to continue on because there's something going on that's going to, I'm sure by the time I'm done, you'll feel that you're involved too. So please, go to the next video and take the time to listen to what I got to tell you, because the next part of this is for all of us. So please take the time and watch the next video. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.